You're on the Marion General Hospital pregame show. Now time to catch up with the Taylor men's basketball head coach Josh Andrews before their senior day competition against Grace this afternoon. Regular season finale for the Trojans before they start next week's Crossroads League tournament. They're already locked into the 8th seed, so they know they'll be going on the road next Wednesday. They will find out who their opponent is at the end of the day, but before that, they'll try to get the season sweep of Grace. And if my memory serves, that'd be the first time that you guys have swept Grace, I think, in your time here.
I think 16-17 I think we swept them in 16-17, but they've been a really difficult opponent for us. They're just so big and physical, and play with good discipline. So it'd be a monster victory for our guys to get the season sweep.
Let's go back to Tuesday really quick. Another tough one-possession loss for your guys. You led by 18 there in the second half, and then Goshen goes to the press. What was it about that press that really turned the game in their favor?
Yeah, it came at the worst time. We had a little bit of foul trouble, and maybe just a touch of fatigue, but we had controlled a good portion of that game and played the game like we wanted. Made things difficult on Stuckey, who's a high-level player. We were cleaning the glass and executing it, and they completely disrupted rhythm. Part of the problem was they began to find scores. We got a little passive defensively, and they attacked us one-on-one in straight lines. And we needed more stops. So as they're scoring and building momentum, they go to that 2-2-1. And we just got a little panicky, a little frantic. And during that time, wanted to have a better shot selection. Use the clock again and kind of play against their panic and the duress they were giving us, and played in their hands a little bit. So it was a perfect storm, and didn't have some big shots go. And and they got us. So credit them for putting that in, implementing that plan. And we didn't handle it like we needed to.
It feels like the vast majority of your losses this year have been either decided by a possession or less, gone to overtime, or even if the final margin of defeats more than a couple possessions, it wasn't like that until the last couple of minutes. What have you done to try to keep the guys' spirits up? Because it could have been really easy for these guys to pack it in, at the end of January and just kind of say, this isn't our year. For those of us that are coming back, maybe we just finish out the rest of the year and then look ahead to next season.
Yeah, without making it sound either too spiritual or preachy or just philosophical, whichever of those three, and it's probably partial for all three. It's components of that. It is bigger than basketball. This stuff mirrors life principles and applications, and we get so caught up in outcomes. And obviously, it's a profession, it's a nature. We're competing to win. Every man in our program, we're competing to win for all the right reasons. And at the same time, it's a process, and you're trying to develop. You want to get better as a player. We want to get better as coaches. We want to relate to our guys better and grow them. We want their understanding, their competitive instincts to develop and grow, their selflessness and their mentality about why they do this and how they do it. And we have seen remarkable progress by individual and by team. We think our program is in a really good place in terms of how we come in day to day. Like this group is fun to coach. We don't have a lot of bad practices. We've got good demeanor and mentality all through this grind, and it has been an absolute grind for these guys. We think they've done enough to earn more wins than they have, and the ball has not bounced our way. And I tell you this all the time, you got to make the ball bounce your way. There's some things we can definitely do better, but these guys have been fun to coach. Our coaching staff, we're their greatest cheerleaders. We really feel that way. Like, we want them to have great success, and they've made it easy because they come back for more. We had one of the best practices of the year yesterday, and they just keep coming back for more. At the end of the day, that's stuff we can control, and they've done that. And if these guys are given enough opportunities, we'll turn, that result will come out on the side we want it to come out on.
I mentioned off the top that today is senior day. You're honoring three players, Emmanuel Blotton, Jake Hageland, and Evan Crow. Evan and Jake got the chance to play as sophomores on the national title team 2 years ago. Emmanuel redshirted that year. He's had a chance to play the last 2 years before having that season-ending injury a couple months ago. What's it been like to be their coach for Emmanuel the last 3 years and for Jake and Evan the last 4, with Jake and Evan being your second recruiting class here at Taylor?
Yeah. It's an honor when you think back, and it's hard during the middle of the season. It's hard right now to really take time to pause and reflect. That's why it kind of hits you like a tidal wave after the season, where I think back to when we got Evan Crow's commitment, and we think back to when we got Jake Hageland's commitment, and the first time we met Jake, and how we come to know these guys, and all the little things that come together in order to get a commitment and secure a commitment to be a part of this prestigious program. For Emmanuel, the miracles that had to happen to get him here, and for all the things that follow. And you go back on the timeline and think through what these guys have been, what they've sacrificed, the tough things they've gone through, the adversity that they've worked through. And then when you're in the gym with them, they're just great dudes, and they're fun to be around, and they're contagious, and they're all three going to be super successful, and they're the type of young men that you want your son to grow up and be like, and they're the type of guys that you want to be around, and you want guys that we're recruiting right now to be around them and to see, hey, this is what you can get, this is who you can be like, and the world's a better place because they're three guys like this. So, man, to try to put that into a 30-second or minute, answer, and then to put them on display and play. It's a special group, and we're going to miss them. We're really going to miss them.
You look at today's opponent in Grace, a team that you really shot the lights out to start the game up at Winona Lake a couple weeks ago. Where have they gotten better? They're coming off of a pretty impressive performance this past week against Huntington.
Yeah. They've beat several good teams, and they did this same thing last year. I mean, they are very good. They are big. They're athletic. They're physical. They can go smaller and have physical, athletic guards and come at you. They got some experience, and it's a big-time test. I mean, they've got guys. Charlie Warner is just shooting the lights out. They got some guys that can score it at a high clip, and they've got power inside with Godfrey. So we absolutely have our hands full, and I'm a competitor. We like it. I mean, we got to go really compete here if we're going to protect our home floor and honor our seniors with a win. But I do think this. I think we're going to be seriously competitive, and I think it's going to be a fun game.
So here we go, Taylor and Grace to wrap up our Senior Day doubleheader here this afternoon. The Trojans changing up their starting lineup a little bit than what we've seen the last couple weeks. Your guards still remain Ryan Robinson and Vincent Miranda. Evan Crow, Jason Hubbard, and Jake Hegelin makes the start in place of C.J. Pena here this afternoon. We might get a chance to see Mason Degenkolb today after he had that lower left leg injury against St. Francis a couple weeks ago. He's missed the last 5 games. There's a chance he might play today. Taylor has the opening tip. They go from left to right in white. Grace defends in red in the man-to-man. Miranda goes right around his high school teammate Braxton Linville and lays it in with a left hand. I'm sure that happened many times back in Napanee, Indiana at Northwood High School, and Miranda blows by Linville like he wasn't even standing there. Taylor cashes in on their opening possession. They're up 2-0. So it's Linville, Eddie Gill the fourth, Hayden Deaton, Logan Godfrey, their leading scorer, and Charlie Warner. Deaton will get it back in the mid-post right. Hubbard defends him. Deaton, a fadeaway from 10 feet. Air ball, and that'll bounce out of bounds, and we go back to Taylor. Deaton averages 19 points a game. Godfrey averages 20. Warner averages 17. Those are the top 3 leading scorers for Grace. Their other best scorer, their 4th best scorer, averages 9. That's Jarrett Sons. We'll see him off the bench today. Hegelin with a screen and roll in Miranda. He holds and then gives it back to Miranda left side. Left-hand dribble against Linville. Around the Hegelin screen, got him up top. A jump stop to the right wing, and Hubbard will float it to the right elbow, and Hegelin holding. Man fell down, then Robinson lost it as Gill fell down as trying to slow down the speedy Ryan Robinson. And Ryan had to go off of his hands and out of bounds. 2-0 Taylor, a minute in to half one. Grace from right to left in red. They've got white numbers and white letters trimmed in black. Warner around a screen, back to Godfrey, mid-post left. He's an athletic big, trying to bulldoze Hegelin. Hegelin blocked the shot, but Godfrey got it back as Jake was tucked underneath the hoop after the initial rejection. 2-2 our score as Godfrey gets Grace on the board, 90 seconds into half one. Taylor from left to right in white. Robinson will hand off near sideline Miranda. Linville defends. Miranda picks up the dribble and will float it up top to Hegelin. Back to the near sideline, Robinson. Deaton defends him. Robinson will shimmy away to the baseline he goes, looking for help. He'll whip it outside to Crow. A head fake got Gill in the air. Then outside the arc it goes to Robinson. Hegelin trying to set that screen. Step back, 3-ball. Robinson halfway down. And then Crow will tap it out to the free throw line and Hegelin. Good look for Ryan as Gill will walk out to defend him. The junior against the freshman Eddie Gill. Hegelin banging with Godfrey. Turns the corner, lays it in. And they'll get Godfrey for lifting his leg and hitting Hegelin in the back. First on Godfrey, first one against Grace. Shot clock sets to 20. In case you're wondering, Eddie Gill IV is the younger son of former NBA player Eddie Gill and current Indiana Pacers TV analyst on Fox Sports Indiana. He and his family are sitting to our right. Gill defends Robinson to Miranda, high left side. Mid-post left Hegelin. Spins, wants to now put it on the ground against Godfrey. Kick out, Robinson with 7 to shoot. Gill defends, Hegelin there for the screen if Robinson wants it. Now 4 to shoot. Ryan, left side, trying to go up and under. Right-hand floater from the free throw line is off target and rebounded by Deaton here of Grace. To the right sideline and Gill the fourth. Back to the trailing Deaton. Warner will step into a three and he'll miss it, rolling it off the rim. Warner, a good three-point shooter, excellent three-point shooter at 48%. Robinson, excellent and driving, missing, but then Hubbard will tap it in with a right hand, using all 7 feet of that wingspan. Taylor back in front by a deuce, 4-2, as Grace quickly accelerates to the front court to our left. Linville to the far sideline and Warner. Now Godfrey, a hand off to Deaton, trying to turn the corner on Hubbard. Will float out to a Warner right wing three that was halfway down and rattles out again. So Warner's been close on 2 threes, but they haven't found the bottom of the cup. Taylor to the front court, leading by 2. Hubbard from straight on, around the arc it goes, far sideline Crow. Will go to the baseline left and Hagelin with Godfrey defending. Jake jabs, now dribbles with his right hand, trying to back Godfrey down. One hand whip, catch and shoot. Miranda three is good. Vincent Miranda, a 43% three-point shooter, and he cashes in on his first one today. Miranda has outscored Grace by himself 5-2, and the Trojans lead 7-2. 3.5 into this opening half. Linville, right side circle. Godfrey will measure a three. That's a new element to his game that hasn't been there in the first 3 years, but he misses this one short, and it bounces out of bounds. Coming into this season, Godfrey was 0 of 4 from three-point range in the first 3 years of his career. This year, he's 7 of 25 in 28 games coming into today's game. Hagelin to the far sideline and Hubbard. Taylor with the ball, leading by 5, thanks to 5 from Vincent Miranda. Between the circles, Robinson. He'll just fire for 3 as Gill gives him too much room, and Ryan misses a dead-on 3. That was halfway down and rattles out. Gill kept backing up, and Robinson pulled the trigger, but couldn't find the bottom of the cup, much like we've seen from Warner for Grace. Deaton, high left side. He had 17 points in the win over Huntington this week. He blows right around Hubbard, lays it in with a right hand to the left side of the hoop, and they get Hubbard for a foul as well. Good motor there by Hayden Deaton, 6'5 sophomore out of Lafayette. Foul on Hubbard is first, and that brings us to immediate timeout. 15:52 remaining in half number 1. It's Taylor 7 and Grace 4 here on the Trojan Sports Network.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Neither team shooting the ball particularly well from 3. Grace comes in shooting 39% from behind the arc. Taylor at 36. Grace 0 of 3. Taylor just 1 of 3. Each team has attempted 7 shots so far. Taylor has made 3. Grace 2. Leading scorers so far: Miranda with 5. Deaton and Godfrey with 2 apiece. And Deaton's got a chance to complete an and 1 after our media timeout. The foul is on Jason Hubbard. 15:52 to go here in half 1. And Taylor on top 7-4. So Deaton to the line has surpassed every offensive category from a year ago. As we mentioned, he's averaging 19 points, also averaging 5 rebounds a game as he makes the second free throw. Last year averaged 10 points and 4 boards a contest. So Deaton completes the and 1. He's got 3 points to lead Grace, and they're to within a deuce, down 7-5. Here's Robinson, far side for Taylor. Gill defends. Around a double screen goes Robinson, trying to turn the corner. Head fake, and then Gill just tackles Robinson into the air, or down to the floor. Gill bit for the pump fake, as Ryan just hesitated slightly on the right block. First one on Gill, second one against Grace here in the half. And that'll put Robinson to the line for 2. Ryan needs just 4 points this afternoon to move past Ted Wright for 32nd on the all-time scoring sheet for the Trojans, and that is the grandfather of Taylor women's basketball senior Aubrey Wright. And Ryan makes the first for his first bucket of the day. Back to a 3-point Taylor lead, still early on here in half 1. And Ryan will miss the second one short, but Hubbard will snake in and get a rebound. He had a career-high 13 in the loss at Goshen on Wednesday. and he's got his first couple here already. Baseline left, Hagelin driving on Godfrey, trying to get underneath the reverse layup, and they'll say that Hagelin stepped out of bounds as he tried to maneuver away from Godfrey. Two seniors locking horns here, and for the first time in almost 3 weeks, Mason Degenkolb checks into a game for the Trojans. He and C.J. Pena come in for Taylor. Mason still the second leading scorer for the Trojans. They replace Hagelin and Robinson. Mason suffered that lower left leg injury at St. Francis just about 3 weeks ago, and he'll come in here. They go to Godfrey, left block, trying to go against the freshman Pena. Out to a Deaton for a three try. That one spins off again. That's the third time we've seen Grace spin a three off the rim today. Miranda goes, bumps with Linville. He'll bank it in over his former high school teammate. So right now the Northwood matchup is Miranda 7, Linville Squadouche. And Taylor up 10-5, just past 5 minutes in to the first half. Linville with Crow defending, around a Godfrey screen. Pena comes back to Godfrey, cut off by both Hubbard and Pena. Jason got his hand in there, now it's poked free again. Godfrey scripts it, locked out of his hands on the way up. As no one for Taylor could pick up that loose ball. Hubbard was ready to leak out to try to go tear the rim off on the other end. Instead, it's fouls on the Taylor freshman C.J. Pena, his first and the second one against Taylor. Godfrey to the line for a pair. Godfrey, a good free throw shooter at 75%. And this first one is perfect. 3 for him. He's got 3. Deaton's got 3, and that's all of the points so far for Grace. James McLeod in for Taylor. He replaces Jason Hubbard. Taylor already locked into the 8th spot of next week's Crossroads League tournament. Godfrey will miss the second free throw off the right side of the rim, and Crow's there for the Taylor rebound. The Lancers 1 game back, but even if they win today due to the tiebreakers, they will not be able to make it to the Crossroads League tournament. Taylor is either going to go on the road to Iwu or Spring Arbor next Wednesday night. Top of the key, McLeod out to Degenkolb with Deaton defending him. A mismatch with a big Deaton guarding the small Degenkolb. McLeod, he'll try to bully his way to the rim, muscled in, couldn't get it, and there's a rebound for Braxton Linville of Grace. They bring the ball to the front court, down 4. Linville, jump stop behind the back dish. Down the lane goes Warner through defenders and lays it in with the left hand. Tough bucket there for Charlie Warner with many defenders surrounding him. Warner finishes with the left hand to the left side of the rim, and Taylor's lead down to 2. They've led by as many as 5. Grace is yet to lead this afternoon. Degenkolb, Miranda for the corners. Got 1 today, and that one will miss off the back of the heel from a left corner 3. Deaton out and running. He'll accelerate all the way in around Crow. His left-hand shot was wild. The ball tapped around out of bounds, and it'll stay here with Grace off the deflection by James McLeod of Taylor. Tice Frank, the freshman, comes in for Grace. They replace Linville. Godfrey exits, and Jarrett Sons comes in for Grace as well. They're in red with white numbers and white letters. Taylor in the all-white with purple numbers and purple letters. Deaton, left block, trying to go around McLeod. Missed the shot. One-hand rebound. Crow taps into the arms of McLeod. Taylor with the ball in a 2-point lead with 13:39 to go in half 1. Here's Crow, a transition 3. That one's short, and rising above everybody is Gill for the rebound. Taylor 1 of 5 from 3-point range. Grace 0 of 4 Euro step Gill, but his finger roll was too strong off the back heel. Here comes Miranda, left side of the floor. Warner marking him. Miranda tries to shimmy in. High right side to Crow, near sideline Degenkolb. Off to Pena with Sons guarding him. Pena's played beautifully in the last 3 weeks. Degenkolb handoff. Top of the key, mismatch with the slower Sons. Degenkolb pulls up, free throw line, contested jump shots and air ball. Sons will save it because he knew he blocked it. And here comes Frank the other way with Grace. Another top opportunity for the visitors to tie or take the lead, down 10-8. 7 minutes into the first half. Sons to Deaton right side. McLeod defends the man-to-man. Deaton, big strong kid, kicks out to Warner. Back to Gill on the right sideline. Degenkolb defends. Left-hand dribble by Gill, walking to the top, trying to go in. Bullies into Degenkolb and finishes with a right-hand finger roll. Degenkolb tried to sell the charge call as Gill just got big and strong and bullied through Degenkolb for a finger roll. 10-10 our score, 30-second timeout Taylor. We'll take it with them with 12:40 to go here in half 1.
The Taylor University campus store, with their innovative textbook butler delivery service and name brand Taylor apparel and gifts, supports the Trojans year-round. The campus store, powered by Tree of Life Books, is a proud corporate partner of TU Athletics. It's easy to find something to show off someone's TU pride with 2 campus locations, one in the Dome and one in the campus center near the food court. The store is also open 24/7 at TaylorCampusStore.com.
$12:40 to go here in half number 1. 10-10 our score. Grace right now in a 5-0 burst. And Eddie Gill, the fourth, who scored that last hoop for Grace, checks out. He's replaced by Martin Sheely, 5'8" sophomore guard from Hammond, Indiana, up north. Ryan Robinson back in for Taylor. He replaces Miranda. So the Trojans have Pena, Degenkolb, Robinson, McLeod, and Crow. Pitch back to Pena, lost it between his hands, had an open look at three, but the fumble denied that open look. Wide throw by Degenkolb. Crow hauls it in. Shot clock dwindling down here. Crow tries to put on the deck against Frank, spins in, goes in, and there's a foul on Tice Frank. Beautiful move there by Crow from the left wing. He'll go to the line for 2 free throws. Third one on Frank. He's the 6'5" freshman from Marion, Indiana. He was a state champion last year at Oak Hill High School. A lot of his teammates, mainly Middlesworth, Caleb Middlesworth, now playing over at Huntington. Crow makes the first of 2 free throws. Taylor regains a 1-point lead. And the second one, good as well for the sharpshooter. First 2 for Crow. Hubbard comes back in to replace the aforementioned Evan Crow. 12:20 to go in half number 1. Taylor 4 of 12 from the floor. Grace 4 of 3. The difference right now is the Trojans have made a 3-point basket. Grace has not. They're 0 of 4. Warner can get going from 3, so he's guarded by Hubbard. Out to Sons, his rainbow try. Nope. That off the right side of the rim. Bounces to Taylor head coach Josh Andrews, who gives the ball back to the referee, and his team will have the ball back. Sons a 30% three-point shooter. Averages just over 1 per contest. And Grace now 0 of 5 from downtown. They average 8 made threes a game. So far they started 0 of 5. Pena up top. Sons right there in his grill. Pena surveying. Then off to his classmate Hubbard. The right hand drive up top. Around the arc, McLeod, then near sideline Robinson with 10 to shoot. Sheely's going to give Robinson an open lane to the cup. Sheely fouls him from behind on the forearm. That's a bad play by Sheely. He just invited Robinson to go to his dominant hand on that right hand attack to the baseline right. And Ryan was fouled on what looked to be an open layup. Sheely taps Robinson on the back, saying no, just to let him know there was no ill will on the foul. And Ryan to the line for a pair. His second trip there this afternoon. First of the 2 try. That one, a rare short miss there by the dangerous Ryan Robinson. Warner out, and Godfrey back in for Grace. 12-10 the Taylor lead, with 1 more free throw coming from Robinson, which he will hit. 2 for Ryan, and Taylor leads by 3. They've led by as many as 5. Grace has yet to lead today. They've tied the game at 10, and that's as close as they have been all day. Sons on top. McLeod guards him right in his grill. Near sideline, Deaton to the left block, and Godfrey wants to overpower Pena. Hubbard comes to help. Sheely will kick it around to Deaton with 14 to shoot. Deaton drives in. His shot will bank in on a right-hand finish. Deaton with 5. That leads Grace. And the Lancers back to within 1, as Deaton has really done a good job of slicing through the Taylor defense here so far in the opening half. Godfrey guards Pena straight on. Far side of the floor, outside the arc to Robinson. Spins back, runs through the Pena screen. Waits for help. Sheely rides him from behind, and Robinson will float it in with a right hand. 4 for Robinson. And Taylor back in front by 3. Ryan scored the last 3 for the Trojans. 9 minutes gone, half 1. Taylor up by 3. Grace with the ball. They go from right to left in red. Taylor defends man-to-man in white. Degenkolb fights around a screen. Frank picks at the bounce, left corner. Flings it cross-court to the far sideline, and Deaton. Down low to Sun, trying to go up and under on McLeod, and he'll rainbow it in with a right hand. First bucket for Sons, and Grace back to within a point. Degenkolb around to Pena up top. Godfrey giving him some space if Pena wanted to try a 3. Degenkolb shimmying, back to Pena. Now he'll pull the trigger from 3. Nope, left side of the rim. Hubbard tried to slap it in, and he missed it. He just went off of his left hand. Up the floor to Godfrey, pitching back to Sheely. Down to Deaton for a right-hand layup, and Grace leads for the first time today. Nobody marked out Deaton, and he has 7 first-half points, and Grace takes their first lead of the afternoon. They're up 16-15. Pass wide of Pena. Nobody there in red, so CJ will calmly gather it on the near side of the floor inside the timeline. CJ right-hand dribble, flips outside to Degenkolb. Frank caught behind Pena, now fights through the screen. Mason trying to go up and under, caught on the league logo. Gets it outside to McLeod, then back to Degenkolb with 7 to shoot. Down the left side of the lane, Mason goes right past Frank for an easy left-handed finish. Degenkolb just blew the doors off of Frank, and Taylor goes back in front by a punto. Up 17-15, just past the halfway point of half 1. Deaton around a Godfrey screen. Up top to Sheely, trying to attack Robinson with the right hand. Out to Sun, step back 3, nope. And there's Pena for the rebound. It's an 0 of 6 3-point start here for Grace. Robinson, he'll blow right into Sheely. Right-hand shot too strong, and Godfrey's there for the rebound for Grace. A good opportunity there, but unable to finish was Ryan Robinson. 17-16 the Taylor lead. Grace to the rock from right to left in red. Sheely around the Godfrey screen. Pena comes out, pitching back into Godfrey. McLeod bumped him, and Godfrey easily finishes that one as McLeod bumped him at the waist. 5 for Godfrey. First one against McLeod for Taylor, and the third one against the home team here in the half. McLeod and Degenkolb exit for Taylor. Hegeland and Miranda back in for TU. So Godfrey has put Grace back in front by 1, 18-17. With a free throw to come. He's 1 of 2 this afternoon. And he calmly makes the freebie. 6 for Godfrey, 7 for Deaton. They've combined for 13 of the first 19 here for Grace. Robinson will run the point. He's out there with Hegeland, Hubbard, Miranda, and Pena, the Taylor 5. Deaton, Godfrey, Sheely, Sons, and Frank, the 5 to counter for Grace. Hegeland straight away. Miranda left side around the Hegeland screen. Pulls up. Outside Pena, fakes a 3, now pulls it in right in front. Sons grill, and Pena buries a triple. First bucket for CJ, and Taylor goes in front by 1. CJ's minutes have increased recently, and he's paid the Trojans back in spades. Deaton pulls up 18 feet clean as he got Hubbard on his heels. Hayden Deaton with 9 first-half points. He has been the answer early on. 4 of 8 from the floor for Grace, and he's got that team-high 9 right now. Puts Grace back in front by 1. Taylor shooting on the basket to our right in white. Robinson with Deaton defending around to Hegeland screen. Now the double team comes. Robinson attacks, draws multiple defenders. Up top, open all day. CJ Pena, trifecta. Back-to-back triples for the freshman. And Taylor leads by 2, 23-21 with 8 to go in the first half. CJ 0 of 4 from 3 at Goshen on Wednesday. 2 of 3 right now. Deaton shimmying, bullets one to the far sideline, and Sons tries to take Pena to the rack outside to Deaton, who rainbows in a 3. Deaton, a 43% three-point shooter. He's got 12 first-half points for the Lancers, and they regain a 1-point lead at 24-23. Robinson blows the doors off of Sheely. How about 3 in a row for CJ Pena? Nope, long. Hegeland rebound, no. Taps it outside to Hubbard, who re-engages and flips in a right hand on a finger roll. 4 for Hubbard, and Taylor goes back in front by 1, 25-24, as we go seesawing back and forth on the scoreboard. Just about 7 to go here in the opening half. Frank up top to Godfrey, and now off to Sheely, with Robinson guarding him. Deaton was cutting in, and thankfully for Grace, Godfrey was right there to get it. Powering in around Hegeland for an easy right-hand finish. Godfrey just put that shoulder down and bullied Hegeland to the rim. Grace goes back in front, 26-25, 8 now for Godfrey in half 1. 6:50 separates us before halftime. Robinson right side circle, little shimmy, little drive, little stop, little turn, a little floater, and they get Ryan for a travel. Third turnover for the Trojans. Grace is yet to turn it over here this afternoon, and that brings us to our final media time out of the first half. 6:44 to go in half 1. It's Grace 26 and Taylor 25 here on the Trojans Sports Network.
Since opening in the late 1980s, the Maddox Family Dental Center has been focusing on providing the highest quality dental care for their patients. Children to adults can receive a full-service treatment to meet their dental needs. The Maddox Family Dental Center has 2 locations in Hartford City and Dunkirk and always welcomes new patients. The Maddox Family Dental Center, a proud corporate partner of Taylor University Athletics.
After struggling to shoot the ball, Grace has improved immensely. They're 11 of 22 right now from the field. Just 1 of 7 from three-point range and 3 of 4 from the line. Taylor, not too shabby. They're 43% from the floor. They're 3 of 9 from downtown, 4 of 6 to the line. They've out-rebounded Grace 15-10, including 5-2 on the offensive glass. But the Trojans' problem right now, they've committed 3 turnovers. They've committed 3 turnovers. Grace has not turned it over once. Linville and Gill back in for Grace. They join Sheely, Godfrey, and also the returner in Charlie Warner. The Trojans bring back Miranda, and Crow to join Hegeland, Robinson, and Pena. Sheely, right side circle to the far side of the floor, and Warner. Back to Godfrey, right block, jump stop, knocked away and stolen. Here comes Miranda darting up the left side of the floor. He'll hit the brakes and pull for a transition three that's long, and Godfrey's got the rebound down low for Grace. Miranda's missed 2 threes in a row after hitting his first. Warner driven off the arc. Back to Sheely. Big head fake and drive in. Right hand finger roll. Then Hegeland caught the glass. Godfrey misses the putback. And here comes Taylor the other way as Grace looks for a goaltending. 18-foot Hegeland range. That's his sweet spot, and he hits it right in Godfrey's face. First bucket for the senior Hegeland from the right corner, and Taylor regains a 1-point lead after the block on the other end by the big fella. 5:53 remaining before halftime. Linville dribbling around a Godfrey screen. Crow cuts him off at the block right. Jumping into the air, they spin it around the arc. Does Grace. Sheely, a straight-on three from the left wing. Nope. And Hegeland says, I'll take that rebound. Thank you very much. Taylor nursing a 1-point lead. 5:37 to go in half number 1. Robinson fake to his right, now goes to his left. Outside the arc to Crow to the left corner in Pena. Up top, Hegeland cuts off a pass. Will turn and face the basket. One-hand handoff Crow trying to get to the rim. Cut off on the baseline by Linville. Now Crow gets it back left sideline. Double team comes. Crow's got it with 7 to shoot. Hegeland tries to go against Godfrey. Right hand shot right up and in. 4 in a row for Jake Hegeland. Gives Taylor a 29-26 lead, just shy of 5 to go in the first half. Grace from right to left in red. Taylor defends man-to-man in white. Linville far sideline, floating it into the baseline right in Godfrey. He'll try to back down Hegeland again. Kick out to Gill, driving in, right hand floater spins off. Linville chases in and puts it in on a banker. Linville's first bucket of the day makes it a 1-point Taylor lead at 29-28 with 4:45 to go before halftime. Miranda, a handoff from Robinson. Now Hegeland holds up top. Directing traffic with that right hand, dribbling with his left. Almost lost the dribble, then he'll swing it near side to Robinson. Sheely got greedy. Robinson steps in from 8. He was fouled from behind by Sheely, who went for the steal and then hit Robinson from behind on the pull-up jump shot attempt. That's the second on Sheely. He hears it from the Taylor students down below us, right where he committed the foul. And Ryan will go back to the line for 2, where he's just 2 of 4 this afternoon for the 88% free throw shooter. Taylor leading by 1, and now leading by 2 as Ryan makes the second. He's moved past Ted Wright for 32nd on the all-time scoring list with his last hoop. McLeod in for Taylor, replacing Pena. Second one still to come from Robinson, and he will get them both. Hit the front rim, got the home court roll. Ryan will get a breather. His buddy Mason Degenkolb will come in to spell him. Taylor up 31-28. They've led by as many as 5 here this afternoon. And since Grace took the lead, they'll get a block on Degenkolb as he tried to draw an offensive foul as Gill got into his body. That's the second time we saw Degenkolb try to do that. The first time they gave a play on that Gill finished with a finger roll. This time, Degenkolb goes sprawling. He can't believe it. Gill, a physical kid, 6'1". Grace doesn't give you the weights, but he and Deaton are 2 strongly built young men. Mid-post left, Godfrey trying to back down Hegeland. Help comes from both sides with the Trojans. Godfrey goes up, lost on the way up. He'll knife his way in for a rebound and lay it in from the left side. Godfrey with 10 first-half points. Taylor takes a full timeout. Their lead down to 1. But Taylor not doing a good job here recently getting to the defensive glass as Godfrey, who comes in averaging 9 rebounds a game, has already got 7 here early on. 4:11 to go in the first. Taylor up 31-30 over Grace.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
3-point shooting has still helped out Taylor today. They've only made 3 of their 10 tries, but they've limited Grace to just 1 of 8. Deaton with their only make from downtown. Taylor's gotten to the line twice as many times as Grace. They've made twice as many as well. They're 6 of 8. Grace has made 2 more field goals than the Trojans, but their field goal shooting percentage is about even. Taylor at 46%, and Grace is at 45%. They've got 22 of their 30 points scored by Deaton and Godfrey combined. The Trojans have a much more balanced attack throughout the day. Crow, Degenkolb, McLeod, Miranda, and Pena, the Taylor 5 out of the full timeout for the Trojans. Up top, McLeod trying to back down Deaton. Goes in with a right-hand finish, but they'll get McLeod for an elbow up high as Deaton took one in the chin and then got shot from a sniper in the rafters. A good sell job there by Deaton. He took one right in the chops, and he was able to make sure that the referee saw it. Second one on McLeod. His first half has most likely come to an end. Ryan Robinson comes back in to spell him. 5 in the first half for Taylor, 5 here for Grace. As McLeod was just really maneuvering Deaton easily down to the rim, but then brought that left elbow up and caught Deaton in the teeth. Left elbow extended, Godfrey with Pena guarding him. Flipping outside to Gill, Robinson defends. Gill goes in, shot was blocked by the diminutive Ryan Robinson. But he's known for blocking shots at a time or two. He'll hesitate and go. Gill shoves Pena away, and that will draw some cheers and jeers from our Taylor students down to our right as Gill put 2 hands in and shoved Pena away, who was setting a screen. Second one on Gill, 6th one against Grace in the first half. And now Gill's first half has most likely come to an end like Taylor's McLeod did as Sons comes in to spell him. Gill still not happy as takes his time taking a seat on the bench across from us. Robinson dribbling up top. Taylor with the ball in a 1-point lead. 3:30 left in the first half. Pena fakes a pass to his left, gives off to Degenkolb, who now gets it back from Robinson at the volleyball line. Low bouncer Pena turns and faces the basket. Godfrey defends. Outside the arc, a little shimmy from Degenkolb. Double team comes. Out to Pena. Fakes a 3. Will fling it all the way to the near corner and Miranda. He'll shimmy away from Sons. He'll slice it on through. Robinson 3. Just made it before the shot clock expired. And now Taylor will regroup. Grace screams for a shot clock violation. And while they scream, they'll miss Ryan. Miss a right-hand finger roll. Here comes Linville to the near side. Deaton. Warner checked back in for Grace. Step back, left wing 3, and he hits. Just the second made 3 of the afternoon for Grace. First one for Warner. And Taylor's lead has gone. They now trail by 2, 33-31, with 2:43 to go here in the opening half. Degenkolb throws it behind Pena. And CJ will pick it up, and it'll be an over and back violation against Taylor. 5th first half turnover by the Trojans. And now the Grace fans across from us give the referees the Bronx cheer as a call finally goes in their favor. Points in the paint in favor of Grace right now, 22-14. Linville will bounce up top to Sons. Crow guards him in the man-to-man. Godfrey mid-post left. Trojans come to help. There's Linville cutting weak side, and Godfrey found him as Taylor came in for the triple team on Godfrey. Linville lays it in. It's a 5-0 run for Grace out of the Taylor timeout, and they lead by 4. Biggest lead for Grace here this afternoon right now, with 2:12 remaining before halftime. Robinson double team. Pena around the arc. The ball is flung. Miranda turns the corner on Sons, lays it up. Can't get it, but Crow finishes. And now a foul. They're going to wave the basket off and call basket interference against Evan Crow. The ball was above the cylinder when Crow came in and tapped it down. 2:02 to go before halftime. Grace on a 5-0 burst. Godfrey holds between the circles. Hand off to Deaton. Miranda defends. Over to Sons' right side. Goes back to his right to the baseline. He'll run over Robinson, and here comes the charge the other way. That's a business decision that Robinson made, and that's not an easy one to make as the big fella Sons at 6'7" and probably easily 220 just barreled over the 5'10" Ryan Robinson. First one on Sons, but more importantly, that's the 7th one against Grace, and Taylor's in the 1-1. With 1:45 remaining before halftime, they've got the ball down by 4. They haven't scored in almost 2 minutes. Crow trying to change that. His 3's off the back rim, but then Pena uses those long arms and snakes a rebound away from Grace. Linville tries to stop Robinson, who kicks it outside to Degenkolb. Deaton defends. Degenkolb tried to get some space against Deaton, but couldn't get a clean look at the rim. Jump stop, pivoting outside the arc to Miranda. Vincent fakes to his left, goes back to his right, between the legs bounce. Right hand dribble with Deaton defending with 10 to shoot. Miranda spins, up and under, lost the ball out of bounds, off of Deaton's leg, and it'll stay with Taylor. 7 to shoot, 1:16 to go in the half. Taylor's ball, they trail by 4, 35-31, trying to snap a couple minute scoring drought. And Robinson will be the one to get it in to the right of the hoop. Floating up top to Pena. Godfrey right there on the catch. Step back, 25-footer. Oh, C.J. Pena! How you going to hit that from the parking lot? Oh, C.J. Pena's got that in the gym range. 3 in a row for the young fella. And Taylor right back to within 1 on one that was hit from the next county by C.J. Pena. 55 to go in the half. Here's Pena defending Linville. High pass to Godfrey. Away from the smaller man. He's blocked by multiple Trojans. And then Pena rips it away. Linville will knock it out of the hands. Behind the back pass to a Deaton 3, which is off the back rim. And Crow will get it off to Degenkolb. 42 seconds remaining in the opening half. Double team comes to Degenkolb. Robinson open 3 for the lead. No, but Miranda will jump in and get it. Degenkolb attacks, jump stop with Suns. Low pass to Crow. He's open all day for a 3, and he hits it, and Taylor regains the lead thanks to a parking lot 3 from Pena and a 3-ball from Crow. 2-point Taylor lead. We'll see if they can take it to the locker room. Grace will hold for the final shot with 15 seconds remaining before halftime. Linville dribbling some precious time away. Linville will now jog it to the near side. Suns pops to help, top of the key. 5 to go in the half. Godfrey mid-post right, backing in Pena, who rips it away with 2. Here comes Robinson, 3-quarter court heave. Oh, he almost got it. Oh, my goodness. A 75-footer from Robinson that was just off the right side of the rim. And after Taylor fell behind by a game-high 5, they closed the first half on a 6-0 run by a 3 balls from Pena and Crow. And they go into the locker room leading 37-35 here on the Trojan Sports Network.
Join the Trojan Club today and support Taylor student athletes 12 months a year. The Trojan Club has 6 different levels of membership for you to choose from. You can join for as low as $100, all the way up to the athletic director level for $1,500. Each level receives premiums, complimentary season tickets, as well as gifts from the athletic department. Members also receive special recognition during halftime of the annual Silent Night game. In recent years, members have helped supply the funds for a sports information position, purchasing equipment for teams and the athletic training staff, and providing broadcasts of Trojan athletics.
We'd also like to recognize our group of seniors on the team cheer team at this time. Mackenzie Morgan, a finance major from Once again, everybody.
Your heart, well, your heart is everything to you and your body. And its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Play that old song! You really want her to play it. That's what's really going to open her. You gotta have the music that you listeners listen to.
The decision you're making is about so much more than where you'll spend the next 4 years. It's about how you'll live the next 40. So let me break down the Taylor University experience. We integrate faith and learning to become well-rounded, lifelong learners, while delivering a deeper knowledge of our specific areas of study. Whether you're producing award-winning films, building satellites for NASA, or preparing for a national ethics debate, Taylor will push you to excel in your field. But excellence isn't always about having the right answers. Sometimes it's about asking the right questions. Taylor is interdenominational. That means we can't always fall back on specific church doctrine to settle issues. We rely on scripture and the dynamic nature of iron sharpening iron to better know the God who's not afraid of our question. Much of this happens in the small town of Upland, Indiana, the place where Taylor does life together. But don't let this small town fool you. The schedule is packed with things to do, and through these activities, faculty, staff, and students become more than individuals occupying the same address. They become a community. But this community isn't limited to the campus. We travel, boy do we travel. We are ranked as one of the top 10 schools in the country for overseas experiences. But it isn't just about the going. It's about the sharing of those experiences and being challenged by those who come to Upland as their international experience. Taylor is one of a few Christian colleges that expects all students to have a relationship with Jesus Christ. Now, this doesn't mean Taylor is a Christian Disneyland full of cardboard cutout perfection. Taylor is full of real people with real problems, and living together can get kind of messy. But in that mess, we take Jesus' call from John 13 seriously. We practice picking up our towel and dealing with the mess in each other's lives. We're not here just to follow the rules for 4 years. Instead, we hope to learn to live authentic lives, calling each other to lives of meaning. Every day, our focus remains on the 40, not just the 4. We'd love to show you more about Taylor. Come visit, sit in on a class, go to chapel, spend a night in a residence hall. Experience the difference for yourself.
We're back here inside Odell Arena. This is the BSN Sports Halftime Report, and at the break, it's Taylor using a 6-0 run by 3-point shots by C.J. Pena and Evan Crow to lead by 2 at the break, 37-35. Taylor shot 42% from the field in the first half. They made 13 of their 31 shots. They were 5 of 15 from behind the arc and 6 of 8 at the line. Grace, meanwhile, was 44% from the floor. They were 15 of 34, 2 of 10 from behind the arc, and 3 of 4 at the charity stripe. Leading scorer in the first half was on Grace's team. They had the only 2 double-figure scores in the opening 20 minutes. Hayden Deaton had a game-high 12 on 5 of 10 shooting and a 3-point basket. Logan Godfrey had 10 points on 4 of 9 shooting. He was 0 of 1 from 3 and 2 of 3 from the stripe. Other scorers for Grace: Charlie Warner had 5, Braxton Linville 4, Eddie Gill and Jarrett Sons each had 2. Martin Sheely and Tice Frank each played, but did not score in the opening 20 minutes of basketball. For the Trojans, they had 8 men play, all but 1 scored in the opening 20 minutes, and C.J. Pena led the way with 9 points. All of his shots were from behind the arc, and he made 3 out of the 5 that he took. Vincent Miranda had 7. He had the early pop for Taylor with an early 5 to start the first half off. Ryan Robinson had 6 points. He was just 1 of 9 from the field, 0 of 4 from behind the arc, and he did most of his damage in the line, going 4 of 6. Evan Crow with 5 points on his senior day. Jason Hubbard and Jake Hagelin each with 4 aside. Mason Degenkolb in his first game in 3 weeks, or in almost 3 weeks, has 2 points. James McLeod played in the first half but picked up 2 fouls, and he was held scoreless. Other numbers of note: much better assist numbers for Grace. They assisted on 9 of their 15 hoops. Taylor 5 of their 13. The Trojans made 3 more threes than Grace did, 5-2, and they made 3 more free throws than Grace did, 6-3. Rebounding battle in favor of the Trojans, 22-16 and 8-6 on the offensive glass. Taylor really cleaned up in second chance points, outscoring Grace 10-4. Points in the paint went in the way of Grace, 24-14. As Mrs. James delivers some tasty treats to the broadcast table. She's the best. I don't even know what these are, but I'm going to eat them and they're going to be delicious. It's fantastic. If you can ever find Lauren James's mom, befriend her, because she'll make you delicious treats, and everything's right in the world at that point. So back to the numbers. Fast break points in favor of Taylor, 4-2. Points off the turnover. Taylor turned it over 5 times, Grace 3. And the only scoring off the turnover was Grace's. They outscored Taylor 2-0. But the points in the paint is where Grace really made their money. They outscored Taylor by 10, 24-14. And a lot of that damage done by Godfrey down low. But second chance points in favor of the Trojans, 10-4. And bench points, 11-2 in favor of Taylor, with 9, as you mentioned, coming from C.J. Pena. We'll take a break, come back. This has been the BSN Sports Halftime Report. When we come back, it's time for the second half of basketball and the regular season finale. For both of our teams here this afternoon, Taylor will move on to the Crossroads League tournament next week. Grace trying to end their 2018-19 season on a high note. This has been the BSN Sports Halftime Report. At the break, it's Taylor 37 and Grace 35 here on the Trojan Sports Network.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Second half ready to go here from Odell Arena. It'll be Grace's ball to start. They've got their 5 starters on the floor. Linville, Gill the fourth, Deaton, Warner, and Godfrey. The Trojans counter with their starting 5. Hubbard, Hegeland, as Godfrey goes in. His shot blocked by Hubbard, but a foul on the floor against Taylor's Jake Hegeland as he gives a puzzling look back to our official. And the Grace fans across from us continue to give the Bronx cheer to our officiating crew here this afternoon. First one on Jake. 12 seconds in. The other Trojan starters, Robinson, Miranda, Hubbard, Hegeland, and Crow. Deaton's first of 2. Nope. Too strong. Deaton had a game-high 12 in the opening half on 5 of 10 shooting. That's his first miss from the line today. He also dished out 3 assists. His second one, good. 13 for Deaton. He averages 19 a contest. And that's our first point here of half 2. Taylor's lead down to 1, 37-36. They've led by as many as 5. Grace led by as many as 4 back in that opening half. Hegeland directing traffic, dishes off near sideline. Miranda turning the corner against Linville, goes up, and Linville gets called for the foul. First one on Linville, the 2 high school teammates at Northwood High School back in Napanee. And we have played 27 seconds of basketball in the second half, and we've got 2 shooting fouls for both teams, as Miranda will go to the line for 2. Vincent, a 77% free throw shooter. His first one, good. 8 for Miranda. Just to give Taylor the 3-point advantage. No. Just rolls off the right side of the rim. So Miranda goes 1 for 2, just like Deaton did to start this half off. Each team with a free throw, and we're back to our 2-point Taylor lead that we were at halftime. Godfrey mid-post right, kick back out to Gill just inside the free throw line to the left side and Deaton. Back to the cutting Warner, who got away from Miranda. Head fake, resets for a 3. Nope, spins off, and Hubbard will rip the rebound down for Taylor. Warner now 1 of 4 from behind the arc. He came in as Grace's best 3-point shooter at 48%. Miranda inside the arc, left side to Hegeland. Right-hand power dribble against Godfrey. Got into the paint, one-hand whip to the far sideline, Miranda. Thought about a 3 over Warner, said drives in, jump stop, bounces one through, goes off of Godfrey's legs, and here comes Grace the other way on a bad pass from Miranda. Lob to the rim, Gill will slap it in with a right hand as he outraced everyone to the other end. Ties our game at 38 apiece on the second bucket of the afternoon for Eddie Gill IV, the freshman from Carmel, Indiana. Robinson crossing over to his left hand, stops inside the arc, deals off to Hegeland. All the way to the far side of the floor, the ball is worked to Hubbard. Baseline right drive, goes right in. Easy reverse left-hand layup. He went right around Warner with relative ease. Puts Taylor back in front by a deuce. 6 for Hubbard on his first scoring of the second half. Near sideline, Warner. Miranda defends in the Taylor man-to-man. Grace in red with white numbers and white letters trimmed in black. Taylor in the all-white with purple numbers and purple letters. Deaton's 18-footer from the left side is short. Off the left side of the rim, and Robinson's there for the rebound. Now he accelerates. Bullets one up to Hegeland. bodies with Godfrey. His shot was just too soft. Hubbard trying to tap it in. He couldn't guide it in with the right hand, and Linville's there for the rebound for Grace. He'll race in, spins away beautifully from Crow, and gets a circus reverse left-handed layup on the left side of the rim as he went from right to left. First second half bucket for Linville, and that ties our game at 40 on a pretty pirouette there by Linville on Crow. Taylor from right to left in those white uniforms and shorts. Miranda against his high school chum Linville. Spins back to the right side arc, picks up the dribble. Will bounce it to Hagelin on the right side arc. Up top to Hubbard, fumbled with it, got it back. Now the ball reversed to the near side in Robinson. 10 to shoot with Hagelin left side of the floor inside the arc. He'll back down Godfrey one-on-one. Banging in, up and under. There goes Hagelin. His shot's blocked by Godfrey. Out to Miranda with 3 to shoot. Fade away long, 2, and Vincent Miranda hits it from the right side of the floor. 10 for Miranda, and the Trojans have their first double-figure score on a possession looked to be doomed by the Godfrey block, but Miranda cashes in from 18. 3 minutes into half 2, Taylor back in front by a deuce. They go right back to Godfrey, spins away from Hagelin, reverse layup with a right hand from left to right, and Godfrey made that one look way too easy. 42 aside as Godfrey and Hagelin locking horns on every chance the ball touches their hands on the block. Outside pass, a low one that Gill bangs with Hagelin. Gill hears it from the Taylor fans down to our right. Robinson defends. Up top, 18-foot straight on. Hagelin jump shot. Too long off the back heel. And here comes Grace the other way, led by Linville. Game tied at 42. They look for their first lead of the second half. Behind the back pitch by Linville. Now it finds the hands of Deaton on the near sideline. Right side screen, Godfrey. Hagelin comes up. Deaton throws one in the lane to the cutting Warner, who finishes at the rim with a right hand. 7 for Warner, and Grace goes back in front by 2, 44-42. 3 subs wait for the Trojans at the scorer's table. Just about 4 minutes into half 2, Taylor down by a deuce. Miranda, the Trojans' only double-figure scorer, will give off to Hagelin and then off to the volleyball line in Robinson. Right sideline, Hubbard will float it off to Hagelin with 10 to shoot. Taylor really burning a lot of shot clock here. Crow trying to turn the corner, spins, fade away from the elbow. That one halfway down and out. And another rebound for Logan Godfrey, his 8th for Grace. And the Lancers come the other way, looking to increase on their 2-point lead. Linville trying to back down the shorter Robinson, complains about a call that won't come from our near side official. Trying to say he got an arm bar in the back from Robinson. They go right back to Godfrey, baseline left, threads it on through to Warner on the opposite side, and his 3-point shot barely got to the rim. Hagelin tried to body with Godfrey, who goes in, pitching it down low to Gill, who lays it in from the left side of the glass. 6 for Gill, and another offensive rebound comes back to hurt the Trojans. 6th second chance points for Grace, and they go back and they lead 46-42. Tying their largest lead here of the afternoon. Taylor will take a timeout far side. It'll be a 30-second timeout for the Trojans with 15:07 remaining here in the second half.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greek's Pizzeria. It's our taste.
Taylor ball out of the timeout. James McLeod, Mason Degenkolb, and C.J. Pena will make their first second half appearances as Miranda and Crow remain out on the floor for TU. Taylor with the ball down 4, 46-42. Still early on here in the second half. Little shimmy shake drive by Miranda. Cut off Godfrey. Out to Pena. He's been hot, and that one rattles halfway down and out. Gill stepped out of bounds and wisely did not want to come back in and touch the ball. Picked up by Linville. He'll bring it to the front court. Grace on top by 4, ties their largest lead of the afternoon. Taylor's led by no more than 5 when they've had an advantage. Linville right side around the Godfrey screen. Pena comes to help. Here's an 18-footer from Godfrey off the back of the rim, and McLeod will slide in for the rebound for TU. Off to Miranda, his sophomore classmate. Miranda hits the afterburners, but he can't finish a right-hand runner from the right side of the glass as it was nicely contested. Gill will whip it over to the far sideline, and Deaton to the trailing Linville with Crow guarding him up top. Deaton, jump stop, off to Godfrey, then back to Deaton, left side perimeter. Baiting in, Deaton goes in, straight up as Degenkolb missed it, and then McLeod will spike the shot away from Deaton. Godfrey gets it, spins, and finishes right at the rim. 14 for Godfrey, and he has been a problem for the Trojans for 4 years, and he continues to be a problem today as Grace takes their largest lead here of the afternoon. They're ahead by 6, 48-42. Gill dove for a pass, slow to get back up. He is helped back up and is able to walk off under his own power, does favoring that right leg just a little bit. We had a media timeout, 13:53 to go in the second half. Grace leads 48-42 here over Taylor on the Trojan Sports Network.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Martin Sheely comes in. He replaces Gill. He's getting looked at by the athletic training staff of Grace. Robinson back in for the Trojans, replacing Miranda out of the media timeout. Taylor trying to stop this 8-0 run by Grace. Robinson stops and starts. Godfrey blocks his shot out of bounds, and they'll stay with Taylor with 11 to shoot. 13:39 remaining here in half two. Robinson will get it in on the baseline to the left of the hoop, to our left. Up top to Pena. Left-hand dribble, hand off to Robinson. Down the right side of the lane, pack up top to Pena with 5 to shoot. Now to Degenkolb with 4, with 3. Step back 2 over Godfrey was blocked, and Linville will haul in the miss on a bad possession for Taylor. Out of the media timeout, here comes Grace the other way, leading by 6. They're on an 8-0 burst. Warner defended by McLeod to Godfrey, back to Warner, left side perimeter. Now inside the arc to Godfrey, he'll try to go against Pena, bodying in, and they get CJ for leaning in on Godfrey. And there are more Bronx cheers from the Grace fans across from us. They have been riding our officials all afternoon since they disagreed with one call back in the first half, and they have cheered enthusiastically every time a foul is called against TU. Second one on Pena. To the mid-post right, and Godfrey back out to a Deaton 3 try, which is short off the near side rim. McLeod couldn't get it. Warner goes in, and he'll shimmy around Robinson for a layup. Another time in this half where the Trojans have not gotten a rebound when they needed it. And it's a 10-0 run for Grace. They lead by a game-high 8. 50-42 with Taylor with the ball from right to left and white. Near side of the floor, Robinson down around the Pena screen, goes in, right-hand layup, good for a deuce. First field goal of the second half for Robinson for his first scoring. He's got 8, and Taylor stops the bleeding momentarily, trailing by 8 with 12:40 to go in half two. Linville against the smaller Robinson, right block, up top to Deaton with Crow marking him. Linville looks Godfrey's way, right block, gives it to him. Robinson comes to help on a double team. Sheely will get the ball out of his hands. Now it finds the hands of Deaton left side. 9 to shoot. Got into the air. Out to Sheely with 7. Step back, 15-foot jump shot, no good. But Deaton catches the air ball and lays it in. Another rebound that Taylor cannot get to. 15 for Hayden Deaton, and the Trojans back down by double digits. 52-42. Rebounds now in favor of Grace, 28-27. They just picked up their 11th offensive rebound, their 5th one here in the second half. Pena between the circles, hands off to Degenkolb. Got to the mid-post left, back to the right, trying to go up and under on Linville. Linville blocked the shot. Degenkolb got it back, tipped away by McLeod. Here's 6 to shoot with Crow. Near side of the floor, Degenkolb with 3, with 2, drives, left side of the rim, missed. McLeod trying to put it back up and in, and it's a shot clock violation against Taylor. Their 7th turnover of the contest as Miranda and Hubbard come back in for Taylor. They replace Crow and McLeod. Godfrey and Linville exit in place of Sons and Frank. First time we've seen the two of them in this half. If I'm Godfrey, I think you keep Godfrey out there as much as possible. He has been a thorn in Taylor's side all afternoon. Sheely breaks the backcourt pressure by Robinson and Hubbard as he wheels to the front court. 52-44. Grace lead. Shot hits the front rim and goes for Warner as he pulls up from the league logo. Back to a 10-point Grace advantage. Much like we saw in the first half where Taylor kept answering every Grace run to get the lead back or increase their lead. Here the Trojans can't answer and Grace keeps pushing their lead back to 10. Degenkolb with a mismatch on Sons. A little stop and start move. Tiptoes the baseline and he'll fire it up top to Robinson. 11 to shoot. Ryan puts Sheely on the floor, and all he could do was reach out and hug the darting Robinson, who was about to put him on a highlight reel. Third one on Sheely. Second one against Grace here in the second half. Each team with 2 second half fouls. 11:05 to go in the second half. Taylor with the ball down 10, 54-44, tying their largest deficit here of the afternoon. Miranda will get it in on the near sideline. And now Robinson has it right side circle. Jabbing, will drive down the right side against Sheely, puts it in off the glass, and Ryan starting to cook a little bit. 10 for Robinson, 4 in the second half. And Taylor needs a much-needed defensive stop here as they've cut the deficit to 8. Sheely drives in, circus layup. He'll be bumped on the attack, and it'll go against either Robinson or Hubbard of Taylor. It'll go against Hubbard. That's Jason's second. Third one against Taylor in the half. And here's Sheely to the line for 2. That time, though, no Bronx cheers from the Grace fans across from us. Sheely to the line for a pair. Sophomore out of Hammond, Indiana. Averages 5 points a game. Off the bench the entire year. And the 5'8 sophomore swishes the first one for his first point of the afternoon. Sheely, good free throw shooter at 81%. He swishes the first. And the second one is a swish as well. First 2 points for Sheely on the afternoon. And once again, Taylor cannot get a defensive stop after they trimmed the deficit down to 8. They're back down by 10 once again, with 10:42 remaining in half 2. Taylor goes from right to left in white. Grace defends in red, and they're in the man-to-man. Pena top of the circle. Popping out to help is Robinson on the right side of the floor. Ryan stutter stepping and going down to the Jason Hubbard, who dunks it right over Jarrett Sons. Two-hand flush by Jason Hubbard, and we'll see if that can get Taylor going on the defensive end. And then Pena will beat the shot away from Sheely, who complains for a foul. Robinson accelerating end-to-end with a bump and a hoop. Right hand flipping for Robinson. So the dunk from Hubbard, the block from Pena. And then Robinson gets saucy on the other end. And that ignites the Yodel Arena crowd surrounding us. Trojans back to within 6. The chance is defense. That rattles the bleachers that we sit in. Sheely up top, around a sunscreen. Back up top, Sons fakes to his left, goes in. Shot clock dwindling. Sheely chased off the arc with 9. Bullets one up top for a Warner 3 that he hits from straight on. Second one from Warner today. He's got 14, 9 here in the second half. And Taylor goes back down by 9, 59-50, with 9:30 left to go in the second half. Degenkolb off to Hubbard, then off to Miranda. Low bouncer to Robinson, high middle screen Pena. If Robinson wants to take, he'll just give it off to CJ, off to the arc. Miranda a 3, straight on but just long. And it's Deaton there for the rebound here for Grace. After Miranda made his first 3 of the afternoon, back in the first half, he's missed 3 in a row. 9:05 remaining in half 2, 59-50. The Grace lead here as the freshman Tice Frank will stare into the eyes of Taylor's freshman Jason Hubbard. Deaton will pitch it outside to Sheely, backdoor cut Sons, who goes in, and then he blew the two-hand dunk, and now he's going to hear from the Taylor fans. Here comes Degenkolb into Sheely, and a block, and the foul! Give it to him! Fourth one on Sheely as Degenkolb Euro steps in. As on the other end, a missed dunk by Jarrett Sons. He tried to put the ball behind his head, and then he biffed a dunk. And then Degenkolb rambles to the other end for an and one opportunity. Second bucket of the day for Degenkolb, one of the Trojans' best free throw shooters at 89%. Sons will be exiled to the bench for his missed dunk. Sheely also exiled to the bench with his 4 fouls. Godfrey comes back in along with Gill for Grace. This to draw Taylor back to within 6. The Degenkolb free throw, perfect. 5 for Mason in his first game in almost 3 weeks. They'll go to the bench and Evan Crow will replace him. 8:47 remaining in half number 2. Grace has led by as many as 10. They lead by 6 right now at 59-53. Gill the fourth will run the point. Robinson will defend him, and then he'll give off to Warner. Grace in red shooting on the basket to our right. Hand off to Deaton. Double team comes, Hagelin and Hubbard. Back out to Frank, open left side high 3, and he rattles that one in. Frank, a great three-point shooter at 46%. That's his first bucket of the afternoon. And again, Taylor finds themselves back down by multiple possessions, this time down by 9. They'd been down by 10 for a while, had cut it to 6, and now they can't get past trailing by 9 or 6. Miranda caught in the corner, Hagelin has it, and then gives off to Hubbard. Gill almost jumped the passing lane. Robinson was able to snatch it away from him. Robinson runs Gill into a screen, now 6 to shoot. Hubbard into the paint to Hagelin, pass behind him, and it goes out of bounds. Turnover number 7 against Taylor this afternoon. Just 2 points off the turnovers for Grace this afternoon. And they've got the ball leading by 9 with 8 minutes left to go in regulation. They go from left to right in red. Taylor defends man to man in white. Warner, Hagelin will steal, now he's going to outrace Godfrey to the other end. Hagelin goes up, Godfrey blocked it, Miranda gets it and easily lays it in. 12 for Miranda, and Taylor to within 7. The fans were trying to will Hagelin in for a dunk, but Godfrey chased him and blocked it. And here's Godfrey left block. Hubbard comes to help. Godfrey lost it, kept the dribble alive. Now Robinson will get in and snatch the ball away. He'll race to the other end. He's got Gill on skates. Throws it wildly, missed it. Hubbard couldn't get a putback, but he rapes the rib down, and puts it in with a right hand at the left side of the cup. 10 for Hubbard, and Taylor to within 5. Grace is going to need a timeout. The legendary Jim Kessler calls a full timeout. And that brings life back to Odell Arena with the Trojans down 5, 62-57 with 7:16 remaining in the second half.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or it can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greek's Pizzeria. It's our taste.
Full timeout for Grace. Taylor on a 7-3 run. They've trailed by as many as 10 a couple different times here in this second half. Taylor is led by no more than 5. That was all the way back in the first half. 5-point Grace lead. They've got the ball in the front court with 7:16 to go in the second half. They've got Gill the fourth, Godfrey, Deaton, Warner, and Frank, the 5 out there for the Lancers. Gill on a handoff. Hagelin comes to help. Now Robinson will come back to defend. Gill near side of the floor. Robinson switches back to him. Frank fakes a 3 down the left side. Pocket pass to Godfrey, who won't miss a dunk like Suns did on the other time down the floor. 16 for Godfrey, and a good play out of the timeout. And that's another time we've seen the Trojans get caught on a weak side find by Grace. Lancers go back in front by 7 as we dip below 7 minutes remaining in the second half. Hagelin between the circles on his senior day. Dribbling will direct Hubbard down the lane. Still dribbling. Will hand off to Robinson near sideline. Gill guards Robinson. 7 to shoot. Ryan's got to do something with it quick. Crossover right in Gill's grill. Ooh! How about Ryan Robinson from the parking lot? He missed his first 4 threes. He hits number 5, and Taylor's to within 4. With 6:19 to go in the second half, but Taylor's issue today, they've not been able to get stops after they've drawn themselves to within small numbers. Godfrey with Hagelin falling down. Godfrey goes up, and Hubbard fouled him on the reverse layup try. Third one on Hubbard, 4th one against the Trojans here in the half. Now be a tough one for the Trojans. Jason, the Trojans' best wing defender. And Godfrey will go to the line for a pair. With 6:08 remaining here in the second half. Godfrey 2 of 3 from the line today, already with a double-double at 16 points and 11 boards. And now 17 points as he makes the first free throw. Braxton Linville back in for Grace. He replaces Warner. Mason Degenkolb returns for Crow. Again, Mason playing for the first time in almost 3 weeks after getting hurt a handful of Saturdays ago. As Godfrey will miss the second free throw short. Someone screaming for Taylor to our left got in Godfrey's head. So first time Degenkolb's played in 3 weeks. He'll dribble up top, and the top of the key pass goes to Heglin with Godfrey right there on the catch. 19 to shoot, near sideline pass, Degenkolb. Godfrey comes to help on the double team. Slips it on through. Heglin had Miranda open. He'll pull from 18 feet, miss it, and there's a Godfrey rebound. A bad possession there for the Trojans. They had multiple guys open for threes. Frank goes in. Degenkolb throws that left arm in there, trying to get a foul, and trying to knock the ball free. Mason visibly upset with that call. It's his second personal, and the 5th one against Taylor here in the half. 5-point lead for Grace at 65-60, with 5:42 to go in the second half. Will they say it was a shooting foul? It will be a shooting foul. And the Grace fans give the Bronx cheer again. I think they're directing their cheers at our Taylor students that are sitting directly across from them. Ties Frank to the line for 2. He's 7 of 8 at the line in his freshman campaign. And he'll rattle in the first one. 4 points for Frank today. Pena back in for Taylor to replace Hegelin. Frank has some fantastic Nike sneakers on. A mix of orange, red, yellow, and green. The swooshes are in black. It looks like a lava design on those shoes for Frank. And the lava shoe man makes both. He's got 5. Both of those free throws good, and Taylor finds themselves once again down by 7, 67-60, with 5.5 remaining here in half number 2. Pena holds up top. Now he works to the right side, and Degenkolb. Linville defends in the Grace man-to-man. Degenkolb explodes to the top. Down the lane he goes, trying to fake, trying to go over Linville, and that's an air ball and a right-hand turnaround. Deaton there for the miss, his 7th rebound of the afternoon to go with 5 assists and 15 points. Linville will jog across the purple Trojan logo at center court. 5:10 in the second half. Taylor had trimmed it down to 4. They find themselves down by 7 here. They need to stop in the worst way possible. Godfrey back out to Deaton for a double-figure lead. His 3 tries no good, and Pena will soar over everyone for the rebound. Robinson near sideline. Taylor with the ball down 7 with 4:55 to go in the second half. Robinson between the legs, long 2. That one too long off the back of the rim, and Godfrey has yet another rebound for Grace. That's his game-leading 13th here of the afternoon. 7-point lead again for Grace at 67-60. They go from left to right in red. Taylor defends in white, so they're in a man-to-man. Linville left sideline guarded by Miranda. Linville almost fell down, trying to bully his high school chum in there. Taylor throws a hand in there, deflected out of bounds. Robinson trying to plead that it went off of the cutting Gill on the baseline. Instead, it will stay here with the Lancers. With 11 to shoot, Evan Crow runs to the scores table for TU to replace Hubbard. So Crow will defend Deaton. Linville will be the one to get it in. Floating it up to Deaton. Around a Godfrey screen. Pena comes out, fly back into Godfrey, who lays it in with a right hand on a pretty screen and roll. 19 for Godfrey. That leads the game, and Taylor down by 9, 69-60. They cut it to 4. It's been a 5-0 run since here for Grace. With 4:13 remaining in the second half, time starting to become the enemy of the Taylor Trojans. Trying to snap a 7-game losing streak is TU before league tournament play starts next week. Godfrey trying to go on Pena, who sachets in and lays it in with a right hand and then gets a little flex as he'll go to the line for an and one. That is the element of CJ's game that can make him an absolute monster in this league to come, in years to come, I should say. He's 6'7". He pulls those slower-footed guys out there that can put it on the deck and beat him to the rack. 3rd foul on Gill, the 4th one against Grace here in the second half. CJ just a 53% free throw shooter, but his free throws have been better as of late, and he rattles that one in. 12 points for CJ. Full timeout for Taylor. They're back to within 6 at 69-63. Here with 4:01 to go in the second half.
Your heart, well, your heart is everything to you and your body. And its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
Big number of the day right now for Grace. Why they lead by 6. They've outscored Taylor 44-32 in the paint this afternoon. The Trojans trying to make up with that, but they've only outscored Grace from outside the arc by 6 points. They made 2 more threes than the Lancers have. And Godfrey's been a big reason why for Grace. He's got 19 points. That's a game high. He's also got a game high 13 rebounds. He's 8 of 14 from the floor overall and 8 of 13 inside the arc. So out of the Taylor full timeout after the Pena and 1. 4 minutes left to go in the second half. Grace to the ball. They lead by 6. They've led by as many as 10 here in our second half. Gill holds near sideline. Linville down to Godfrey as Pena was fronting the post, and they thread it into Godfrey, who lays it in for another deuce. He's got a game-high 21, and Taylor right back down by 8. They have not been able to get stops at all here in the second half when they've needed them the most. Pena between the circles. Godfrey defends. Pass off to Degenkolb right side. Whips it back to CJ. Pass might have gotten deflected. Pena fakes the pass and then goes off to Degenkolb. Left-hand drive. Fades, turns, and he will miss one short. And it'll be Deaton to pull it in there as Degenkolb's been short on a lot of shots today. Remember, he's coming back from that lower left leg injury. 3:17 remaining in the second half. Taylor really needs a defensive stop here, down 8. Gill holds out near the volleyball line. Now off to Godfrey, left side, and then to Linville, who calls out the play with his mouth and with his left hand. Right side of the floor. Now up top. They go down low. Godfrey spins, goes up. Shot was blocked from behind by Crow, but they'll say Pena got him on the foul before the shot was released. Third one on Pena. 6th one against Taylor here in the second half. And Godfrey goes back to the line again, where he is 3 of 5 today. Senior out of Fort Wayne, Indiana, and Snyder High School. And he will miss the first one short. Straight line off the front of the rim. Hubbard back in to replace Degenkolb. Taylor not really built to bully down low a lot with Hubbard, Pena, Miranda, Crow, and Robinson their 5. Godfrey will make the second. He's got 22 to lead the game, and Taylor finds themselves down by 9. Feels like they've been down by 9 or 10 for most of this second half. 2:50 remaining in regulation. They need a bucket in the worst way possible. Gill steps in, collides with Pena, who falls to the floor, and that'll be the 4th one on Gill. 5th one against Grace here in the half. And Crow will get it in from the near sideline. 21 seconds to shoot. Taylor with the ball down by 9. They've trailed by 10 here in the second half. They cut it to 4. That's the closest they've been since. They've been outscored, though, 8-3 since cutting it to 4. Robinson got loose with the dribble. Behind his back, was able to track it back down. 10 to shoot, Miranda right side. Big jab step, pull up 3 ball short. Long rebound comes out to Gill of Grace. After Miranda hit his first 3 of the afternoon, he's missed 4 straight. He's 1 of 5 this afternoon. And a full timeout taken here by Grace. They have 2 30s and 2 fulls left. They have an opportunity to pretty much slam the door here if they can go back and get a bucket on this possession. They lead by 9 with 2:25 remaining here in the second half. Here over Taylor.
Join the Trojan Club today and support Taylor student athletes 12 months a year. The Trojan Club has 6 different levels of membership for you to choose from. You can join for as low as $100, all the way up to the athletic director level for $1,500. Each level receives premiums, complimentary season tickets, as well as gifts from the athletic department. Members also receive special recognition during halftime of the annual Silent Night game. In recent years, members have helped supply the funds for a sports information position, purchasing equipment for teams and the athletic training staff, and providing broadcasts of Trojan athletics, like the one you're enjoying right now. With the support of alumni and friends, the Taylor combination of spiritual growth, outstanding academics, and a highly competitive intercollegiate athletic program can continue. To join, call 765-998-5311 or log on to athletics.taylor.edu and search Trojan Club. The Trojan Club, supporting Taylor University student athletes.
.225 to go in the second half. Grace with the ball. Their biggest lead has been 10. It's been a couple times at that margin here in the second half. And Taylor's going to need some defensive stops and some quick hoops. They want to come back and prevent losing their 8th game in a row heading into next week's Crossroads League tournament. Deaton to the left elbow and Linville. Bullets one near side to Frank. Grace not in any hurry to take shots. The clock their friend right now. Linville cut off by Hagelin. Back to Godfrey, mid-post left. Runs into traffic. Around the arc, it's spun. Deaton a three, and he hits it with 2 seconds on the shot clock. Just the second made three for Deaton this afternoon. He's got 18 points, and Taylor down by a game-high 12, 75-63, with less than 2 minutes to go in the second half. Robinson jump stops. Hubbard fumbled with it. Goes in down the right side in and easily led in there by Warner. 12 for Hubbard. Backcourt press put on by the Trojans. Warner across the timeline. Near side to Deaton. Almost fumbled out of bounds, but was able to get it back in on the baseline. 98 seconds left. One more foul will put Grace in the 1-1. Taylor's deficit down to 10 at 75-65. Linville out near the volleyball line with Robinson guarding him. Behind the back dribble, Linville. Pena goes in. Linville spins away. Back up top. Deaton another three. That one short off the front rim, and Pena gets it. Trojans out and running. Pena wheeling up the right side of the floor. He'll jump stop and wait for reinforcements. Pass was tipped, intended for Hubbard, stolen by Frank. Godfrey goes out and running. He'll gather it in and lay it in with the right hand, and that just might be the exclamation point here for Grace this afternoon. 24 for Godfrey as Taylor just could not get defensive stops when they needed. It's a 77-65 lead for Grace with 1:06 remaining here in the second half.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
.106 to go in the second half. Martin Shealy back in for Grace. 1:06 to go. Lancers lead by 12 after a fast break bucket there by Godfrey. Robinson right sideline. Hagelin there for a screen of Ryan What's it crossing over Gill. Got into the paint. Right hand floater. Nope. Tapped around, and that will be rebounded by Linville with 54 seconds left. Ryan has struggled to shoot the ball today. 5 of 17. Bounce pass to Deaton. Weak side pass to Linville. Goes up and gets planted by Hagelin. He missed the shot. And Gill will be held back to his feet, and he'll go to the line for 2. 7th one against the Trojans, 2nd one against Hagelin. Good to see Gill pop back up. Remember, he took a spill back in that first half. But he pops right back to his feet and looks to be good. He's going to be a fun guy to watch for Grace in the future, just a freshman out of Carmel, Indiana. He played for current Marion head coach Scott Heddy before Heddy went to Marion. First one for Gill. And that one will just glance off the front of the rim. Just a 59% free throw shooter is Gill this season. Second one. And that one short again, but Taylor can't get a rebound. It went off of Hubbard's hands, back to Gill. And now Taylor's going to be forced to foul here, down by 12. Grace plays keep away, floating into the corner, and Deaton. Double team comes. Pena will wrap him up with 34 7/10 of a second left. And so with a 1-1 upcoming here. 4th one on Pena for Taylor. And it'll be Deaton to the line for 2, who has flirted with a triple-double today. 18 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists. First of the 1-1 trip. He's 1 of 2 today is Deaton. And he will miss the first one long. Rebounded by Taylor's Jake Hagelin. Hagelin off to Hubbard. 28 seconds left. Hubbard down the lane. Rillo's shot from short, right in with a right hand. 14 for Jason. Timeout, Taylor. It'll be one of their 2 final full timeouts. 25 and 7/10 of a second left. It will be a 10-point Taylor deficit, 77-67 on the Trojan Sports Network.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Taylor had the rebounding average or advantage at halftime. They were up 22-16. Dead even on rebounds right now. But points in the paint has been where Godfrey and Grace has made their killing today. They've outscored Taylor 48-36. Over half their points have been scored in the paint this afternoon for Grace. Excuse me. And Linville will get it in the backcourt. Taylor with the full court press. Far sideline to Warner. Spins away. Pena will wrap him up. That'll be CJ's 5th. And CJ will foul out for the first time in his college career. His afternoon, the freshman from Pickerington, Ohio, will end with 12 points, 4 of 7 shooting, 3 of 6 from downtown, and 5 rebounds. As Cade Newbert will come in for TU. Cade, the 6'5 freshman from Sauk Center, Minnesota. Warner will go to the line for a 1-and-1. That's the 9th foul against Taylor in the contest. Hubbard and McLeod back in for Taylor as well. They'll get the seniors Hagelin and Crow, who receive a much-deserved standing ovation from the Taylor's Odell Arena crowd. Jake will finish with 4 points and 5 rebounds today. Crow will finish his home side of his career with 5 points and 5 rebounds. And the first free throw good from Warner. And the second one good as well. Full timeout taken by Grace. They lead by 12 with 24 seconds left here in the second half.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965 when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
As you can hear, Luke Huffer, Keegan Owen, and Bailey Hesterall come in for the final 24 and 2/10 of a second. Taylor down by 12, 79-67. They're going to go into the Crossroads League tournament, which will start next Wednesday night on the road, trying to snap an 8-game losing streak. And they'll actually try to win their very first Crossroads League tournament game over with Josh Andrews as their head coach, as Newbert's right-hand hook was too strong. Rebounded by Frank, 5 seconds in the backcourt. Grace will end their season with a win. They'll finish 15-15 here in 2018-19. They'll finish 5-13 in the league. Taylor will move their sights to the Crossroads League tournament next Wednesday at either Spring Arbor or Indiana Wesleyan. We'll keep you up to date. If we have any updates on this where they're going next Wednesday before our postgame show runs out, we'll keep you in the loop. Final here from Odell Arena, 79-67 in favor of Grace. We'll come back with the Ivanhoe's postgame show after this here on the Trojan Sports Network.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greek's Pizzeria. It's our taste.
Since opening in the late 1980s, the Maddox Family Dental Center has been focusing on providing the highest quality dental care for their patients. Children to adults can receive a full-service treatment to meet their dental needs. The Maddox Family Dental Center has 2 locations in Hartford City and Dunkirk and always welcomes new patients. The Maddox Family Dental Center, a proud corporate partner of Taylor University Athletics.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Back here inside Odell Arena is where we are. This is the Ivanhoe's post-game show. Taylor comes up short this afternoon as they fall to Grace by a final of 79-67. Taylor led 37-35 thanks to back-to-back threes at the end of the first half. One from way outside by C.J. Pena, and Evan Crow was able to give Taylor a 6-0 run to end the opening half. But then the Trojans get outscored by 14, 44-30 in the second half to lose today's contest. Grace shot the ball beautifully in the second half. They were 16 of 28 from the floor after halftime. They finished 31 of 62 from the field for 50%. Their three-point shooting wasn't very good, just 5 of 18 for 28%, 11 percentage points below their season average. They got to the line 12 times and made 19. But the big story is they outscored Taylor by 12 in the paint, 48-36, so over half of the points for Grace coming today inside the painted area, as Taylor just could not get it dialed in from three-point distance today. The Trojans just 6 of 20 from beyond the arc, just 1 of 5 in the second half after making 5 of 15 in the opening 20 minutes. Taylor was 26 of 64 for the game from the field, just 40% in the second half. They were 41% overall for the game. 6 of 20 was the Trojans' mark at the three-point arc tonight. They usually make 9 a game. They made 3 below their season average tonight. And that really did not help them since Grace was so strong in the paint here this afternoon. Taylor also got to the line just 12 times. They made 9 of them, going to the line just 4 times in the second half, going 3 of 4. Individual scoring, Grace had 3 in double figures, led by Logan Godfrey, who had a game-high 24 points, including 14 in the second half. He was 10 of 16 from the floor, 6 of 7 from the field after halftime. He was also 4 of 7 from the line. Hayden Deaton had 18 points, 12 in the first half for Grace on 7 of 18 shooting. He was just 2 of 7 from beyond the arc. A slow day behind the arc today for Deaton. And their third double-figure scorer, Charlie Warner, who had 11 of his 16 points after halftime. He was just 2 of 6 from beyond the arc, normally comes in as a 48% three-point shooter. Other scores, Braxton Linville had 8, Eddie Gill IV had 4, Tice Frank had 5 off the bench for Grace, and Martin Sheely and Jarrett Sons each had 2 points, both in reserve roles here this afternoon. For Taylor, they played the entire complement of guys that were available to play. They had 4 in double figures, led by Ryan Robinson's 15 points. Ryan had 9 after halftime, but Ryan really struggled to get a shot going today. He finished 5 of 17 from the field, just 1 of 5 from beyond the arc. He normally makes 2 threes a game, so held 1 below his season average here this afternoon. He was 4 of 6 from the line, but he did not get to the line. He didn't get to the line at all after halftime. Other double-figure scores, as I try not to choke on air. Jason Hubbard had a great day, 14 points. He was 7 of 7 from the field. He also had 6 rebounds to help pace the Trojans this afternoon. Vincent Miranda had 12. He did most of his damage in the first half when he had 7. And C.J. Pena had 12 points for Taylor off the bench, but he had just 3 after halftime. He made 3 threes this afternoon to lead Taylor. Other scorers today for Taylor, Mason Degenkolb, 5 in his return, playing for the first time in almost 3 weeks. Jake Hagelin had 4 in his final home game here in Odell Arena. And Evan Crow added 5 in his final home contest as a Taylor men's basketball player. Playing but not scoring, Bailey Hester, Keegan Owen, James McLeod, Luke Huffer, and Cade Newbert. Other numbers to pass around here today. Rebounding numbers, just 1 for Grace, 37-36, but they're able to out-rebound Taylor 21-14 after halftime. Offensive rebounds almost even at 13-12 in favor of Taylor, but there were 6 offensive rebounds in the second half for Grace and just 5 for Taylor after halftime. But Grace always seemed to get a timely rebound, and particularly a timely offensive rebound, when it looked like Taylor could have gotten a defensive board and then gone the other way with an opportunity to trim their deficit even smaller. They got close. They trailed by as many as 10 in the second half. They got to as close as 4. They end up falling tonight by 12. Here tonight, we'll take a break, come back. We'll hear from the head coach of the Trojans, Josh Andrews, after this commercial break here on the Trojan Sports Network.
Since opening in the late 1980s, the Maddox Family Dental Center has been focusing on providing the highest quality dental care for their patients. Children to adults can receive a full-service treatment to meet their dental needs. The Maddox Family Dental Center has 2 locations in Hartford City and Dunkirk and always welcomes new patients. The Maddox Family Dental Center, a proud corporate partner of Taylor University Athletics.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
Back here inside Odell Arena, Rick Johnson now joined by the head coach of the Trojans, Josh Andrews, here on the Ivanhoe's postgame show. You guys get a big 6-0 run to end that first half. Another county three from CJ, and then Evan gets one. You go up by 2 at the break. They outscore you 44-30. Why was it so tough to guard Logan Godfrey today?
You know what? I thought they've been playing well. We make no excuses. Those guys really played well today, and he was so physical at the rim. We thought when we went up there, we had matched his physicality and his toughness when they play high-low basketball, and that's kind of patented Grace basketball, and they were physical and tough, and we didn't have much of an answer. We were letting him catch it where we didn't want him to catch it, and we didn't fight it out of the high post as well as we needed to. And, man, they executed at a high level. So they were strong with the ball and kind of controlled that way. Credit Grace.
You get Mason Degenkolb back for the first time in just about 3 weeks. He plays, how many minutes? He played just about 20 minutes, a little bit under his season average. How do you think he did in his first game action in, like I said, almost 3 weeks?
No, he did some good things. You know, you're breaking back in. We thought having 8 guys in the rotation would give us a boost, and, he did some good things. But we just, like we talked about, they kind of controlled the pace and the power of the way things were played. So we would have needed some we need cleaner execution. We would have needed more efforts from guys in a scoring standpoint to offset that, and they brought it.
This place was really rocking. You guys cut it to 4.
Yeah.
Jason gets the big dunk. CJ gets the block on the other end, and this place really starts rocking. It was a big crowd today. Grace brought a lot of people as well. Sure. What was it like to be able to have it, to be able to coach in a packed house for the final home game for Jake, Evan, and E-Man?
Yeah, no, it's frustrating for them because this isn't the way we wanted this thing to finish. Those guys are such great men, and they've done so much to help our program and improve our program. And, we haven't protected our home planks the way we would like to either. So, it's tough. It's tough to swallow, but, hey, we'll try to quickly regroup and be ready for whoever our matchup is on Wednesday. And Emmanuel and Evan and Jake are guys who we are so proud to have coached and have been here. And, man, hopefully we can string it together and have a big finish here.
You're going to have to play 3 road games, or you're going to be on the road for as long as your tournament run starts. Does it help getting this extra day to prepare, knowing you're either going across the county to Indiana Wesleyan or going to Spring Arbor?
You know what? At this point, we just got to get a little bit better, a little bit tougher. We've got to execute better, kind of get back to a little bit of a aggressive mentality that fits our guys. Again, I think our opponents have done a nice job. This league just beats you up. We're just slightly off where we need to be in a lot of these games. And so we'll take analysis there and try to be ready to go. And whoever that team is on Wednesday, I hope that we have an elite level of fight. It's in our guys. And we can beat anybody in this league, and I think the opponents know that.
Josh, thanks for the time. Good luck on Wednesday.
Thanks. Appreciate it, Rick.
That's Josh Andrews, the head coach, joining us today. We're back to wrap it up after this. Thanks.
Since opening in the late 1980s, the Maddox Family Dental Center has been focusing on providing the highest quality dental care for their patients. Children to adults can receive a full-service treatment to meet their dental needs. The Maddox Family Dental Center has 2 locations in Hartford City and Dunkirk and always welcomes new patients. The Maddox Family Dental Center, a proud corporate partner of Taylor University Athletics.
Back in here for one final time on the men's basketball side here on the Trojan Sports Network. Taylor will finish the 2018-19 season at home with an 8-8 overall record here at home. They lose today by a final of 79-67. They'll wait for their opponent in the first round of the league tournament. They're either going to Spring Arbor or they're going to Indiana Wesleyan. Whoever finishes with the number 1 seed in the league tournament, Spring Arbor's already won. They've done their part. Now they're waiting to see if Marion can knock off Indiana Wesleyan. At last check, that game was a 5-point game down there in Indianapolis. If Indiana Wesleyan wins, Taylor heads across the county for a third matchup with IWU. If IWU loses, the Trojans will head farther north to take on Spring Arbor on Wednesday. Either way, this will be our final home basketball broadcast for the Taylor men's basketball season. We hope you folks enjoyed watching it as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you. But our basketball coverage not done, thanks to the women's win earlier today. The TU women gained the number 1 overall seed in the Crossroads League tournament. That play for them starts on Tuesday here. The semifinals would be on Friday if they can win. They're riding a 17-game win streak. If you can't make it out here, we have plenty of seats available. If not, we'll make some room for you here on the Trojan Sports Network as always. Special thanks to Hannah Goebel and Emily Daniels, who worked both of our games today. We appreciate their hard work here this afternoon, and we appreciate you folks for tuning in as well. If this is our final men's basketball broadcast of the year, we say thank you. We hope you enjoyed watching today's game and all the games this season as much as we enjoyed bringing them to you. The next time we talk to you for men's basketball is in 2019, at the fall of 2019. We'll see you then. If not, we've got room for you, as we mentioned, on Tuesday for the women's basketball tournament, which will start at 7 p.m. Taylor will set their sights on the Crossroads League tournament, either at Indiana Wesleyan or Spring Arbor. That will start on Wednesday on the road for the Trojans. They wrap up the regular season with a 12-18 overall record, 5-13 in the Crossroads League, and they'll head on the road on Wednesday to start league tournament play. Once again, our final score from here inside Odell Arena, Grace defeats Taylor by a final of 79-67 on the back of a 24-point, 13-rebound double-double by their senior forward, Logan Godfrey. This has been a presentation of Taylor Men's Basketball here on the Trojan Sports Network. Good night from Upland, Indiana.